Very much. All right, moving on to our next story. The federal government suspended some senior officers of the Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, over bribery allegations regarding controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly called Bobrisky. The House of Representatives also mandated its committees on financial crimes and reformatory institutions to probe corruption allegations against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Nigerian Correctional Service within 3 legislative weeks. This is after a blogger had alleged in a viral video that some officers of the EFCC collected 15 million naira from Bobrisky to drop money laundering charges against him. During the period of his trial, he also alleged that Bobrisky paid some millions to secure a choice place in prison. Whew, what a moment. Now, I still have Justice with me here, and of course, Ibrahim Garba is also going to be contributing to this as well. Now, Justice, very quickly, in a leaked video, Bobrisky alleged that the EFCC collected 15 million naira from him to drop his money laundering charges. And of course, the audio also revealed he served his prison sentence in a private apartment after his godfather contacted the Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Are you surprised?
Not necessarily, because I'm in the system and I've encountered some of these shenanigans, and I'm happy that, ironically, these kind of issues are coming to a limelight because of Bobrisky. It's coming to a limelight in a way that it's not easy for officials and the authorities to just wish it away and just push it to the side. And I actually really feel that it's unfortunately so. It is no longer news that in Nigeria that depending on how deep your pocket is, you can actually get the level of comfort that you want within the prison system. It's unfortunate now that we hear clearly that with Bobrisky, he's even getting accommodation outside of the prison system. And for charges that are being dropped, ordinarily, I feel that it is okay if the prosecution, because the bar for the prosecution to be able to prove the guilt of an accused person is usually high, and for good reasons. We usually say that it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. And it's because, pursuant to our constitution and our laws, we actually say that it is better to let 9 guilty persons go scot-free than punish an innocent person. So that is why the threshold for proving beyond reasonable doubt is very high. So because of that, the prosecution, they usually check the evidence that is available to them. And after assessing the level of evidence available to them, they can choose to say, sorry, we don't have enough to make these charges stick. So because of that, let's let this person go so that we don't stress the judicial system, and we don't also punish a person who would rather be innocent. So because of that, the bar is high. So it's I would have understood easily if that was what the EFCC, if that was the litmus test that the EFCC put this whole process through before they now said, okay, let's drop the money laundering charges. But it is unfortunate that Idris is saying that it was because they collected 15 million. If that's the consideration, I think that it is very wrong, and everybody that participated in the process should actually be punished.
All right, Ibrahim, very quickly, now the whole fiasco about our structure and system, what kind of message do you think we are exhibiting as the most populous black nation in Africa?
You know, Mark, before I answer that question, I would like to say this word. What transpired between the cross-dresser and the social media influencer VDM, you know, is really laughable. It goes on to show you that there is a disconnect between the EFCC and at the same time the Correctional Center. Beyond that, you'll find out there are so many people today in the Correctional Center that are standing trial for some 6 months, some 6 years and thereabout. It shows you that some people are giving preferential treatment because they have deep pocket. Otherwise, why is it that after being accused and sentenced to about 6 months, Bobrisky spent only 3 weeks in prison? So that needs to be probed, and I'm very happy that today the National Assembly, the House of Reps, have decided on their own to invite all the stakeholders involved to ensure that justice is done. And it is laughable that, you know, things that are, you know, very important for us to look at that will help the nation today. You know, there's a lot of diversion because of, you know, trivial cases like this, which I feel is inconsequential. But again, it has brought to limelight some of the rot we have in our system today, especially the correctional center, where some people are given preferential treatment. I think the federal government should look deeper beyond what is happening between Bobrisky and a very dark man. There's a lot that is going on there. So many people are standing trial. They are not giving fair hearing just because they don't have anybody that is standing for them. But you have high-profile criminals that were brought into the custody of the correctional center, and they are given special treatment because they have deep pockets. So there is a need for the federal government to look deeply into these issues, and at the same time probe the affairs of the correctional center so that we can have a system that working for all.
Thank you very much. Now, Justice, before we go quickly, now from the angle of the law, does this make Martins Vincent Utse, that's also known as Very Dark Man, liable of any offense in any way for exposing this cover-up? Some say he may be liable for defamation.
No, I don't think so. If anything, it should be commended.
And celebrated.
And celebrated. If anything, it should be given the kind of laurels or even monies that whistleblowers are given, because in this situation, he is a whistleblower. But as for maybe the private suits, potential suits against him from the persons whose names he mentioned, if they feel that they have a substantial case against him, why not? They can pursue it against him. But again, will it eventually stick? Can we see within everything that has transpired, can we say that the elements of defamation, for example, have been satisfied? I may not be able to pass a verdict on that now, because if he ends up in court, it will now depend on the strengths or weaknesses of your lawyers and the evidence that you can tender. So that's the take. That's about it.
Well, thank you very much, Justice Ujena, lawyer and legal practitioner, for your time this evening.
It's my pleasure.
And of course, Ibrahim Garba, of course, communications consultant. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right, it's indeed a pleasure. And that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Marco Tabo. Until next week, goodbye.